They say never meet your heroes. But the addendum to that is unless they're Harrison Ford. Falling in love is a narcissistic endeavor. You play the role of lover, and you find someone to act it out on. Show me a man who wouldn't give it all up for Emma Stone, and I'll show you a liar. You feel good if you've done hard work. You sleep better. You get stuck in your head if you have too much time to think. I did what I had to do to get where I wanted to go. I had unearned confidence. I had my hustle. It was whatever I could do to not end up working in a factory. If I had to shake it like a showgirl, I was going to do it. I love being Canadian. I think growing up in Canada gives you a world perspective that I certainly enjoy. Cars can have a hypnotic effect. You can get in a car and get out and not really remember the trip. The people of Disney are so incredibly amazing. They are so nice. I didn't want to make a literal film about Detroit, because it felt like what they were experiencing was more universal than that. I think I was always bound to become two selves, if I wasn't already. Some of the styles of dance in La La Land I wish I had spent time on when I was a kid. I've learned it's important not to limit yourself. You can do whatever you really love to do, no matter what it is. You can only be yourself, and it sounds cheesy, but when it comes to filmmaking, there's really nowhere to hide. I've been thinking about a bank robbery my whole life. It was a strange experience, making a love story and not getting along with your co-star in any way. It's weird to have no control over something that you're involved in. If I eat a huge meal and I can get the girl to rub my belly, I think that's about as romantic as I can think of. I'm Canadian, and so American politics aren't really in my wheelhouse. Acting isn't that hard, really. I mean, I think that people make a big deal about it, but you just kind of try to say your lines naturally. I think the law of attraction comes from a rich, white, privileged perspective. What's nice with comedy is that you know it's working if it's funny. In New York, you're forced to deal with life. It's there in front of you on a daily basis. Sometimes I think that the one thing I love most about being an adult is the right to buy candy whenever and wherever I want. I don't even think of myself as particularly good-looking, and not at all a typical kind of Hollywood leading man sort of actor. If the character is true, the movie will fall into place, or at least that's what you hope. There used to be a candy called Bonkers, which I believe to be the greatest candy of all time. I feel like I think like a woman because I grew up with my mother and my sister, so I've just been programmed to think like a girl. You know us crazy kids. We'll do anything crazy to our hair. It's Shane Black. He's a world unto himself. His world is so fun and crazy. Now that I'm an actor and I have movies, press, I have more occasions to wear suits. I like wearing suits. I know there are only so many characters I'll be able to play. Anytime you stick your neck out in high school, there's someone right there to chop your head off. Actors become very professional and proficient about watching out for each other's light and not stepping on each other's lines. You can't geek out with a lot of people about Linda Manns. For now, I'm just going to keep doing the work and hope I don't get fired. If people want to put me up on their walls, I'll love it. I grew up in a town called Cornwall, Ontario, which is about an hour outside of Montreal. I know that I'm with the person I'm supposed to be with. I've been doing this since I was 12. I don't want to act much longer. I can't do one thing my whole life. I'm waiting to get old. I think old guys with tattoos look good. Working with someone is the best way to get to know someone, especially if it's a creative endeavor. I feel like I'm always trying to make a movie about the two-faced man in some way. I felt like I was going crazy as a kid. I wanted to be man, get a job. I'd like to see some Broadway shows at some point in time. There's a lot of pressure to be the lead of a film. I have done it. It's not my favorite way to work. I need a break from myself as much as I imagine the audience does. When my films don't do well, I'm hurt and surprised. It's discouraging. I grew up Mormon. I wasn't really Mormon, my parents were. I don't know specifically what scenes I'd like to see violence in. I crave violence when I'm watching a John Hughes movie. I got a Twitter because some guy was pretending to be me. I've always liked women more. I was brought up by my mother and older sister. I found my way into dance class. I still go to Disneyland as much as I can. The Haunted Mansion is my favorite ride. When I made The Notebook, the director, Nick Cassavetes, who is John's son, used to show me his father's movies. I love An American in Paris. That's the one for me. Some of the visual ideas in that film are just haunting and very free. I grew up on Mel Brooks films. That was film to me until I got a little bit older and realized there were other kinds of movies. Anybody could write a bad script. And I'm one of them, you know? I read a lot of script. In my opinion, most of them aren't good or aren't about people. I had to keep reminding myself in Blue Valentine that I was actually making a film. I think we just knew that we had a movie when Rachel walked in the room. Maybe in my life I sort of put myself in situations that were chaotic, outside of my life. I've wanted to make films since a really young age. It's always been my passion. I turned 30, and everyone told me I would feel different, and I didn't. I think Believer and Leland were such great things to have been a part of, and I learned a lot. I grew up on Shane Black movies. And I grew up on Joel Silver movies. My home life now is mostly women. They are better than us. They make me better. I think we're very complicated and we're capable of all kinds of things. And movies don't reflect that.